So I want to comment on what we think we can learn from Apple and what we actually should not learn from Apple. So one common statement that Apple is famous for making, and Steve Jobs in fact said this last year, is we don't do any market research at Apple. We just go out and build great products. Now what does that exactly mean? Do you think they have no marketing? They don't do market research? That's really not true. But what he is saying is that what Apple does really well is it focuses on what sucks. They focus on what's wrong with the products and services that customers use and how they can be improved. So they have a very simple modus operandi. Their MO is that they go in and they bring a sense of design and a sensibility around industrial design, the user experience, and apply it to domain after domain where the technology is there, existing entrants have already come in, but it leaves something to be desired. So in other words, what Apple really does is go around and category after category, look at what sucks and makes it better. And it brings the same idea of the elegance of the user experience and industrial design to these categories. So some interesting observations about Apple, that they are never first in a category. They're never the first ones to launch a new product. And in fact, the couple of times that they've tried to, such as with the Apple Newton, the Next computer, and also Apple TV, they've actually failed. What they're really good at is taking a product category that's been around for a while, but leaves a lot to be desired. And what it really leaves to be desired is the elegance of the user experience, things that are simple, things that work the way they expect them to and are delightful to use. So they're really great at what they call geek porn, right? They really try to create products that people lust after. And they've done this. They did this with the personal computer, with the Macintosh. They weren't the first ones out, but they really improved upon. They did that with music players. They were 3 years behind some of the other MP3 player companies, but they really brought that user experience to it. And they did it with the phones. And the beauty of this model is that there are many, many, many other categories where this user experience needs to be improved. So I will bet you in the next few months you will hear probably about an ebook reader from Apple, which might be called the iBook. They might make iConference for improving video conferencing, the iHome server, which improves your home media, and so on and so forth. The possibilities are endless because in category after category, the technology products that we use in our lives are too frustrating, too complex, too difficult to use, and the experience leaves a lot to be desired. Now, what can we not learn from or should not learn from Apple? I'm reminded of the ads that where you see these automobiles doing impossible things, and the footnote says, closed course, professional driver, don't try this at home. So my sense is what Apple does is fairly unique to their culture and to the personalities involved. It is not a process or an approach that can easily be replicated at another company. So the worst thing you can try to do is to emulate Apple's strategy without having the soul and the personalities and the leadership that drives the company. Because at the end of the day, I think Apple is more of a people and personalities driven company as opposed to a process driven company that really where you can emulate. So we can learn from sort of what they do, but I don't think we should learn too much from how they do it, because how they do it is fairly unique. So that in summary is sort of what we can and should not learn from Apple's success.